Hey guys, so most of the videos that I do on this channel, of course, are geared toward people who are maybe shopping the Wrangler JL. Maybe you don't have a Jeep, haven't had one before, and you just kind of wonder about them. So I'll try to make some videos that'll help people who may be shopping for one of these things. That's kind of what this channel is geared toward. You know, we've talked about reviewing the Wrangler and some of the mods we've done to it. We've installed trailer hitch and lift kit, tires, wheels, step bars, trek top. You know, we've done a few things like that. Pretty common things that people do to Wrangler JLs. If there's something that you're wondering about that you'd like to know about the Jeep, post a comment below or send me a message, let me know, and I'd love to try and help you out and answer your question. Today's video is about fuel economy. Some people are asking about the Jeep Wrangler and how it really does on fuel, and we're going to talk a little bit about the 2-liter turbo versus the V6. So here's a clip that I shot earlier today, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. Thanks. Hey guys, so let's talk briefly here about fuel economy. If you saw the 1-year update video that I made, you noticed that I briefly showed you the fuel economy that my Wrangler JL has gotten over the last year. And since then, I've gotten a lot more questions about that. So I just thought I'd do a quick video here and kind of show you. You know, I've heard it said a lot of times that if you have a truck or a Jeep, you know, you shouldn't be worried about gas mileage. And my take on it is this: it doesn't matter what you drive, you should be worried about gas mileage, because the more fuel you save, the more money you save. Also, the more fuel you save, the better it is for the environment and all those things. Doesn't matter what you drive, as far as I'm concerned. Everybody should be looking to use the least amount of fuel that you possibly can, right? So I don't buy that argument that people who drive Jeeps shouldn't care how much gas they use. I think that's a dumb argument. But let's say that you're shopping for a Wrangler JL. I know there are a lot of people who have never had a Wrangler before, and you're wondering what kind of gas mileage is this thing really going to get. I'm not sponsored by this website. This is just a site that I really love. But if you go to fuelly.com, it's F-U-E-L-L-Y, fuelly.com. This is a really cool site because people have this app on their phone, right? And when they fill their vehicle up with gas, they enter their odometer reading and how many gallons they put back in, and it does the math for you. And so it takes all the guesswork out of it, guys. If you go on the forums, you'll get all kinds of different responses. Some people say they get terrible gas mileage. Some say they get 30 miles per gallon. You're going to get all kinds of answers. But if you go to a site like this, like Fuelly, you'll be able to get real world actual numbers that you can use. And so let's just look at this. Here's, you know, Jeep Wrangler JL. If you pull this up, this is very interesting because you can see here the average of all the Wranglers across the country that people are inputting their data from. And you can see here that most people are in that 18 mile per gallon range, okay? And then the second highest category would be 19 miles per gallon. Real quick, here's something really interesting that I noticed. If you sort this by the 2-liter turbo engine, look what happens. The mileage here, of course, you've got a little over 133,000 total miles tracked from users all over the country, and the average overall of the 2-liter turbo Jeeps is 17.0 miles per gallon, okay? So keep that in the back of your head for a second. If you switch over to the gas V6, the Pentastar V6, which is what I have, of course, and obviously there are more of them on the road, so you've got 755,000 miles being tracked. But in both cases, you have a lot of vehicles and a lot of miles being tracked. The average for the V6s is right at 17.9, just shy of 18 miles per gallon. So there's almost a 1 mile per gallon advantage for the 6-cylinder over the turbo 4-cylinder. And the reason I wanted to point that out is because if you go to the dealership and you don't know anything about these Jeeps and you're shopping, the salesmen are probably going to try and tell you that the turbo engine is going to get better fuel economy. And the fact is, it doesn't. Ford went through this for years with their EcoBoost engines. They promised everybody they would get better fuel economy, and people who are buying them noticed that they did not get better fuel economy. I think there were even some class action lawsuits that were filed over it. I noticed recently that the Ford Ranger came under scrutiny because it was not achieving the promised fuel economy, and Ford announced that they were going to investigate. Bottom line is these turbo engines don't get great fuel economy. So if gas mileage is your concern, the V6 is probably your best bet. Not only that, but it's been around longer and it's a proven engine too. So I thought that was really interesting. I just wanted to show you that. Now, as far as mine goes, I nicknamed it Clifford, the big red dog. I remember from a year ago, my son thought that was cool. Here are my stats. Now, again, I've got a 2.5-inch lift and 34-inch mud tires on mine. And when I first got the Jeep, of course, it was stock for a while, and I'll show you that in a minute. It was much better, but I've had the lift kit and the larger tires on the Jeep for about a year now. I also got a free tank of gas from the dealership, and there's been a couple of tanks that I've skipped accidentally. So my total mileage is over 14,000 miles, but only 12,355 of those are showing up in here. But so far, my lifetime average is 17.7 miles per gallon. And my best tank when it was stock was 21.7. You can see my last tank, 17.9. This is pretty much where I've been tank after tank here lately. And the cool thing about Fuelie is that it shows you, my average price per mile. It's costing me about 13 cents per mile to drive the Wrangler JL. My average fuel up cost $40.47. So this is pretty neat how it tracks all this and does the math for you. My commute is about a 50-50 mix of city and highway, and then on the weekends, we do a lot of different things with the Jeep, as you guys know if you've been watching the videos. So it shows you, 56% highway, 44% city. That's a rough estimate. So I do pretty much a mix of city and highway. So if you're looking at the window sticker, the number that I would look at is the combined number. And the combined number on my window sticker was 20 miles per gallon. So if I go down here, I can look at this chart, and you can chart all fuel ups. And this is really cool because it shows you everything since inception, since you first started tracking the vehicle. You noticed when I first got the Jeep, again, I told you it was stock, my average was right there at 20 miles per gallon, just like the window sticker said it would be. So I think it was sometime around 2008 maybe, the EPA changed the way they calculate the window stickers. And what I have noticed is that since then, the numbers on the window sticker are pretty much spot on. They're really, really accurate now. In the old days, back in the 80s and 90s, they were not accurate at all. They were very optimistic. But now the window stickers are really, really close. Window sticker on my Jeep said 20 combined, and that's pretty much what I was getting when the thing was stock. You can see what happened when I put the tires and the wheels on it last summer. My mileage took a big dive there. Of course, you've got the peaks and valleys. The good ones are, the high points are usually like highway trips. The low points might be when I was towing a trailer or something. But in general, my average is around that 18 mile per gallon mark now. So the lift kit and the tires killed me by about 2 miles per gallon on my fuel economy. I still think that 18 miles per gallon out of a vehicle shaped like a box that has a lift kit and tires on it, I still think that's really, really good. I had a Nissan midsize crew cab pickup truck. It was a 2013 model. That thing got 16 miles per gallon no matter what I did. I had a buddy that had a new Toyota Tacoma crew cab 4x4, and it was getting about 17. We're talking about stock trucks here now. And so to see the Wrangler getting this kind of fuel economy with the modifications that I have on it, I think that's really, really good personally. So, if you're looking at these Jeeps and you haven't ever had a Jeep before and you're concerned that it might drink gas really bad, I just wanted to show you this because the fact is these things are pretty good on fuel. And like I said, you can get on this website, you can search through other people's Jeeps, and you can kind of see where they are. But my results are lining up pretty well with everybody else in the nation per the stats on this website. So again, pretty good numbers overall. You know, I don't think it's too bad at all to spend that kind of money. You know, if I'm spending about $40 a week on gas and I'm driving, you know, somewhere around 1,200 miles a month or so. So it's pretty economical. You know, not a big deal at all in my opinion. Just wanted to show you guys that. Hey, and while I'm thinking about it, you know, most of the videos that I do are kind of geared toward helping people who are shopping for a Wrangler, or people who may be wanting to do some light modifications to a Wrangler, or whatever the case might be. If there's something that you guys would like to know about, you know, if you're curious about something with the Wrangler, something you want to know about that maybe the salesmen aren't telling you or they don't know about, post a comment below or shoot me a message, and I'll try to help you out on that, okay? Because I've got pretty much over a year under my belt with this thing now, and I'm getting pretty familiar with it, so I can hopefully help you out and answer your questions. Just wanted to show you guys this. I hope that it was somewhat helpful to you, and I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good rest of your afternoon.